Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcast.
Welcome, everyone. This is Steve Meisen, your host of the ISE webinar series. Today, I'm pleased to present Jason Ayres. Jason will be our special guest speaker. And for those of you that don't know Jason, well, Jason has been producing the ISEFX weekly outlook for the last 6 or 7 weeks, and he's done an incredible job with that, so we look forward to future issues of that. You can get that each and every week. I think the best way to do it is really to just subscribe to the weekly outlook, and you can go to www.ise.com/FX and find everything that's there, whether it's podcasts, webinars, archives. It's all right there for you, and I'd urge you to sign up for it. But, I'm really happy to have Jason. Jason's the founder and president of optionsource.net. So his firm, he basically helps people learn about technical analysis and options trading. So, again, that's why we have him on today. He's a great resource for us, and I just am very, very pleased to introduce Jason Ayres. Again, Jason, thanks again so much for being with us today.
Names on the attendee list as well, which is always nice to see the folks come out and support me and support us in these events. So thanks again for having me.
Thanks again. Unfortunately, Jason, I think I cut off your first 4 words. But,
I just suggested that I was pleased to see a number of familiar names on the attendee list, and wanted to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us at these types of events. That was it, basically.
Well, Jace, thanks again. You've really done some great work regarding the ISE FX pairs and your analysis of it, and I'm really looking forward to today's presentation. Thanks again.
Great, my pleasure. So I guess ultimately, Steve, are you're going to set things up for me here, and then I can more or less just move forward once I see the slides in front of me?
You don't see them now? You should see them now.
I don't, but maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong. Oh, there we are right there. So, okay, I see them. Now I have control. Bear with me here, folks. I just, generally I have control of these slides, so I just want to just double check and make sure that we're able to sort of move forward and advance here, which I don't know whether I have control here or not, Steve.
You don't? Okay, let me see if we can work it again. Jason is going to be talking about simple guidelines for using technical analysis for the major currency pairs. Let me just see if I can take the roll back and then give it back to Jason. Let's see if that works. Jason, try it again.
Okay. Well, I've been able to create an annotation here, but let me just see. Sorry, folks, for this. I'm just, let's see if we can advance the slides here. There we go. All right, so as Steve mentioned, sorry about that delay there, folks, but as Steve mentioned, we're going to talk about just some simple guidelines for using technical analysis for the major currency pairs that are available through the ISE. As he mentioned, my name is Jason Ayres, founder and president of optionsource.net. We are a Canadian company based in Toronto, Ontario, and essentially what we do is we provide education and opportunities through market analysis, and we also provide support to our members and clients. We do both online and in-class instruction as well. So if anybody has any questions or so on and so forth, please feel free to email me, Jason at optionsource.net, or give us a call here at 877-TRADE-19, extension 227. On that note, we'll move forward here. Of course, there's always the risk disclosure that we need to draw your attention to. Basically what we want everybody to understand is that options are not necessarily suitable for everybody, and you must have a firm understanding of the markets before investing any capital. Any strategies that we're going to discuss and examples and so on and so forth are strictly for illustrative and educational purposes only. Hopefully I did a sufficient job of explaining that, Steve.
Strictly clear.
All right. Now, let's first take a look at the ISEFX outlook and the sort of the basis of what we're providing here. I know Steve mentioned it. Realistically, what we're looking at, if I could just is essentially doing a technical overview of the FX options pair values. And as I mentioned earlier on, you know, an understanding of technicals, particularly when you're looking at trading options, is important because, as many people understand, the options are a time-sensitive tool, and so what we need to do is be aware of specific targets and understand that we really do need to lock in our profits or offset our losses in a timely fashion as the clock continues to tick by. We really use simple techniques to determine probability of direction. So anybody that has tuned into our FX options weekly outlook will notice that there's really just a focus on support and resistance levels. We will highlight some key patterns that we identify. We do bring Fibonacci's into the picture in some circumstances, but we really try to keep things as simple as possible. Now, you know, really what we're doing is we're essentially looking for clues, and I always you know, use the analogy or the comparison to a forensic auditor, in the sense that, you know, if you go to a crime scene, you're not going to convict somebody on just one little piece of evidence. You need to accumulate evidence and build a case before you actually can go in and convict. And really what we're doing is we're applying that sort of rationale to our technical overview of the markets. We're looking for clues. We're trying to put pieces of the puzzle together, create a case, and then build that case and obviously trade on that information. Now, we always have to keep an open mind in that respect, and by that I mean that people tend to anchor themselves to specific market biases, and I'm sure there's people out there that you know, don't obviously have to admit it, that, you know, have been holding on to losing positions in an otherwise abysmal market with the idea that, you know, how could I be wrong? How could all this research that I've put into and all this time and effort you know, that I put into creating this opportunity be you know, completely going against me now? And the idea is that you have to keep an open mind and really let the price action of the chart communicate to you, and try to create as mechanical approach as possible. Recognize that, of course, we're dealing with probabilities. You know, if you flip a coin to pick a direction in the market, you've got a 50-50 chance of being right. Of course, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. And what we want to do with technical analysis is we want to put the laws of probability in our favor more effectively, measure the risk versus the reward, and then make our trading decisions based on that information. So I know that there's a lot of folks online, just because I recognize their names, that are already familiar with what technical analysis is, but just to kind of give you a little bit of an overview, what we're doing is we're really looking at market action, and we're watching how the open, close, high and low of a particular stock, or in this case currency pair, is plotted on a chart, and we're really going on the notion that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we're able to glean you know, much more information off of being able to look at this picture than we would simply looking at a quote on a you know, on a broker's platform. Now, what's great about this, and not necessarily applicable to this particular scenario, but we can use this information to view various time frames. And for example, you know, when we're actually looking more closely at a potential opportunity in our FX options currency pairs, we will go to the spot market and look at our smaller time frames to see just how particular currencies are trading against the U.S. dollar. And we're applying the same information, but it helps give us a little bit more of an insight as to what we might be able to expect as prices open officially on the exchanges the following day. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Of course, we're looking at how individual bars are being plotted, and the idea is that each one of those bars come together to form a trend or a specific pattern, and then it's through these trends and patterns that we determine our market direction. And this is largely based on the idea that history repeats itself, and certain trends and patterns have preceded certain moves within the past, and the idea is that there's a high probability that they will continue to do so.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.